After binding with the melanating system in this book, my innermost thoughts were inadvertently overheard by the entire family of my domineering husband. My second brother is truly foolish. Which good person, once intoxicated, would still engage in such antics? Wake up, the child in her womb is not yours at all. My elder sister too, not only has she been manipulated by her husband through psychological tactics, but now she must also support his illegitimate offspring. Truly, she has her own set of skills in living off others. And then there's Lu Qi. If he dislikes me so much, why not simply divorce me? I had been contemplating seeking out a younger, more appealing companion after the divorce. Imagine those abs. That very night, Lu Qi, wrapped in a bath towel, entered my room, his earlobes flushed, appearing rather innocent. Wife, let me touch you. 01 In the dead of night, I was yanked from my cocoon of warmth by Lu Qi. What are you doing? Disturbing my peaceful slumber at this hour. Before me stood Lu Qi in dark loungewear, his tousled hair falling over his forehead, an expression of affectionate exasperation on his face. You've caused trouble, come downstairs with me. His voice was soothing, akin to jade clattering in a dish. Lu Qi is my husband, and to be honest, I quite admire his face. Given the timing of his visit, it must be that little White Lotus girlfriend of my second brother, adding fuel to the fire, weeping and complaining to him again. I thought to myself, my expression souring at the mere thought of encountering that White Lotus. Lu Qi suddenly remarked, if you come down with me now, I will reconsider the divorce. When I found myself in the original owner's body, she was being slandered by a wealthy young lady who secretly adored Lu Qi. The marriage between the original owner and Lu Qi was merely a facade. The two were devoid of love for one another. Lu Qi had stated his intention to divorce me. The divorce agreement stipulated that post-divorce, Lu Qi would compensate me with 500 million. Although I was furious at the slander, the compensation was quite generous. I could shoulder this blame. 500 million. With such funds, I could indulge in numerous male models. Perhaps a few youthful and spirited ones, ideally, with 8-pack abs. I was quite satisfied with this sum. Thus, I consented to the divorce. However, Lu Qi unexpectedly reversed his stance, opting not to divorce, instead uncovering the truth, resulting in legal repercussions for the wealthy young lady, and, subsequently, he apologized to me. Despite my attempts to entice him into divorce thereafter, he remained steadfast. Now he was finally willing to contemplate it. My spirits lifted. Let's go downstairs. Wait a moment. Lu Qi halted me, and in that fleeting moment our eyes met. He turned his head aside, his exposed earlobe tinged with a faint blush. You should fasten your button. I replied, huh? As I glanced down, warmth flooded my face. One of my buttons had come undone, revealing an expanse of fair skin. So I had been facing Lu Qi like this? All right, let's head down. I fastened the button, feigning calmness. I trailed behind Lu Qi. Observing the crimson hue staining his ears, I mused. So, even a domineering CEO can feel shy? How innocent if he were to discover that nothing transpired between us on that drunken night. Would he not be overjoyed? Thud. While descending the stairs, Lu Qi unexpectedly stumbled. Are you all right? With a thought of concern, I could not help but chuckle inwardly. You regret not agreeing to my divorce, don't you? I'm fine, Lu Qi replied, his face ashen, seemingly gritting his teeth. Second brother is waiting for us. Upon entering the living room, Lu Jin's girlfriend, a delicate flower, began to weep as she spoke. Guji, I don't know how I have offended you, but why must you instigate discord? Between me and a Jean and I are genuinely in love. Even if you refuse to accept me, you should not claim that the child I carry is not a Jin's. Lu Jin is an artist, deeply sentimental and emotionally inclined, having not engaged in romantic relationships for many years. Zhang Kenny, employing various tactics and sweet words, somehow managed to make Lu Jin regard her as his muse, transforming him into a quintessential romantic fool. Their relationship oscillated between intimacy and estrangement, until recently, when Lu Jin unexpectedly declared at the dining table his intention to marry Zhang Kenny. Lu's parents exhibited some reservations regarding Zhang Kenny's past entanglements with numerous individuals, expressing their disapproval of her. In a dramatic turn, Lu Jin dropped a bombshell. Kenny is pregnant with my child. Unfortunately, I share a contentious history with Zhang Kenny. I could not bear to witness Lu Jin, this love-struck individual, being manipulated by her. Thus I voiced my skepticism. Isn't my elder brother rather naive? He believes everything she says. He would be better off focusing on what Zhang Kenny has been up to during your absence. Lu's parents echoed my sentiments. Gigi is right. The child may not even be yours. If you genuinely wish to marry her, consider undergoing a paternity test. Abruptly, Lu Jin left the table with a dark expression. Observing his infatuation with Jean Kenny, it seemed he had been brainwashed by her cunning tactics. The paternity test never materialized, and he might even blame himself for doubting her. Jean Kenny leaned against Lu Jin, feigning victimhood. Guji, you are slandering me. Lu Jin, his face grim, fixed his gaze upon me. Guji, apologize to Kenny.
What?
What have I slandered her about? Elder brother, I never claimed the child in her womb isn't yours. I merely expressed my doubts, I replied, batting my eyelashes. Miss Zhang was involved in rumors just recently during your breakup. I am merely looking out for our family, elder brother. With our Lu family's vast enterprise. If she is indeed carrying our kin, that would be one matter, but if not. My thoughts were rife with exasperation. Elder brother, I had hoped you would seek clarity, but it appears you have been thoroughly misled. Lu's father, his expression grave, interjected. Your sister-in-law is correct. If you intend to marry her, you must first obtain a paternity test. Jean Kenny wept. Jean, I have only ever had you. How could they doubt our child? I understand there have been rumors about me, but they stemmed from work-related issues. I have never wronged you. Lu Jin tenderly consoled Jean Kenny, wiping her tears with a pained expression. He would not relent. Father, what you're suggesting is an affront to Kenny. Lu's father fixed an unwavering gaze upon Jean Kenny, causing her to cower behind Lu Jin. If you wish to marry, a paternity test is imperative. I added. Miss Zhang insists she has never wronged you, so what harm would there be in undergoing a paternity test? If she continues to evade it, might that not indicate her own uncertainty? A fleeting look of panic crossed Jean Kenny's face, yet she adeptly leveraged her advantages. With tear-streaked cheeks, she turned to Lu Jin, lamenting, Jin, must I truly succumb to their mere suspicions? Your family is being utterly oppressive. Her tears flowed incessantly, and the sight of her profound distress pierced Lu Jin's heart. He comforted her while casting a furious glare at us, declaring, Mom, Dad, I am profoundly disappointed in you. His demeanor came as no surprise to me. My second brother is indeed a romantic fool. Oblivious to the fact that her reluctance to undergo a paternity test stems from her own insecurities. After all, on the day of their breakup, she had far too many suitors, and even she could not ascertain the identity of her child's father. If one were to doubt this, they could coax her into taking the test, and she would immediately threaten to terminate the pregnancy. Standing idly to witness this drama was exhausting. How I longed to sit and enjoy some seeds while watching the spectacle unfold. Gigi, let them handle the matter concerning the second son. Come sit with me, called Lu Ma, gesturing for me to take a seat beside her. The table was adorned with sunflower seeds and peanuts, and my eyes lit up as I eagerly moved to join her. As I passed by Lu Qi, I noticed he was engrossed in his phone. This person truly lacks excitement. Even at such a critical moment, he is still preoccupied with work. Upon noticing me, his expression conveyed a hint of resignation. Lu Ma then spoke. Lu Jin, our family has never had a case of premarital pregnancy. Since you have broken this precedent and wish to marry her, we must acknowledge the child she carries. Though Lu Ma typically exudes a gentle and cultured demeanor, her words commanded respect, and no one in the Lu family dared to disregard them. Lu Jin found himself in a quandary. After a moment's hesitation, he softly reassured Jean Kenny, Kenny, since the child is mine, let us undergo a paternity test to dispel our parents' doubts. Before he could finish his sentence, Jean Kenny slapped him across the face, exclaiming, You scoundrel! Even you do not trust me. If that is the case, then there is nothing more to discuss. I shall terminate the pregnancy right away. It is better than allowing the child to be maligned even before birth. I could hardly contain my laughter, my stomach aching from amusement. I knew she would resort to this tactic of retreating to advance. Surely, my second brother does not genuinely believe the child in her womb is his. He must not be so naive as to assume the role of an unwitting father at such a tender age. Is she not intent on terminating the pregnancy? Simply go along with her words. Does he not realize she will commence a breakup and sever ties? An uneasy silence enveloped the room. Just as everyone, myself included, anticipated Lu Jin's capitulation, he lifted his head and declared, Very well, then let us proceed to terminate the pregnancy. Zhang Kersen wore an expression of disbelief. Miss Zhang, since you are unwilling to undergo a paternity test and cannot provide evidence that the child belongs to Lu Jin, terminating the pregnancy may indeed be a viable option. Lu Ma remarked with a smile. Otherwise, your premarital pregnancy would cast an unfavorable light on our family. I silently applauded her wisdom. Truly, Lu Ma is remarkable. Zhang Kenny would undoubtedly cause an uproar, for she would not dare to go through with the termination. Among all those she has encountered, Lu Jin holds the highest status. And this is the only leverage she possesses to secure a marriage into the Lu family. Lu Jin, I truly misjudged you, Zhang Kenny exclaimed, wiping her tears fiercely. Her expression one of defiance after being wronged. You are not worthy of my lifelong trust. I shall raise the child alone. Let us part ways. I told you she would resort to using a breakup as leverage. After the split, she will certainly not terminate the pregnancy. My second brother, being infatuated, will undoubtedly experience anxiety. Before long, Zhang Kenny might worm her way back into his life, and he will fall for her once more. In time, the child will become an irreversible reality. For some reason, Lu Jin's expression was one of turmoil, and I had anticipated he would instinctively attempt to retain her. Just as they were entangled in their drama, the usually quiet Lu Qi suddenly spoke up. Miss Zhang, you have repeatedly asserted that the child in your womb belongs to my second brother. How do you explain this video from July 5th? July 5th? Isn't that the day my brother broke up with her? I recalled that she had arranged meetings with 3 benefactors on that very day. Lu Qi managed to obtain the video? Impressive. I was curious to see it. I craned my neck, losing all taste for the sunflower seeds in my hand. Zhang Kenny's complexion drained of color, her gaze evasive. What video? I know nothing of it. You are slandering me. You are all bullying me. Woe is me. Suddenly, she erupted in tears, snatching Lu Qi's phone and hurling it to the ground. I rolled my eyes, thinking, such poor acting. She must be terrified of Lu Jin seeing the video, hence her deliberate destruction of it. Lu Jin stepped forward to restrain her. Kenny, please calm down. Lu Jin, if you do not believe me either, then let us part ways, she declared, covering her face and fleeing in tears, running away so swiftly, fearful of being exposed. I mused, observing my second brother's anguished expression as he seemed poised to chase after her. My heart swelled with sympathy. Oh, my love-struck brother, you have been deceived. Nothing ever transpired between you two. That day, when you awoke in the hotel after drinking, it was all orchestrated by Zhang Kenny. What's more absurd is that while you were deep in slumber, she was with her benefactor next door. Did she truly think you would awaken and whisk her away? You, a virgin, how could you ever make Zhang Kenny pregnant? I could not fathom what Lu Jin was thinking. His expression oscillated between anguish and numbness, his face a canvas of shifting emotions. Finally, he glared at me with gritted teeth and strode out with long strides. Why is my brother glaring at me? I questioned, perplexed. A glance at Lu father and Lu mother revealed their expressions to be equally complex, particularly as they turned to Lu Qi. Lu Qi's handsome face darkened. You are noisy. Not even sunflower seeds can silence your chatter. I shut my eyes, enduring. You sharp-tongued man, just wait. I shall seek a divorce and find a sweet-talking little darling. Thus, the farce came to an end. As I returned to my room in preparation for slumber, Lu Qi obstructed the doorway, preventing me from closing the door. Is there something you need? He inquired, his demeanor somewhat awkward, a flush creeping across his face. Are you thirsty? Would you like some milk? I was taken aback. Milk? Is it the kind of milk I am thinking of? Is this truly the aloof CEO I am familiar with? Could it be that he has been possessed by some unsavory spirit? Or perhaps, is Lu Qi regretting the divorce? Bah! Scoundrel. Not fond of me, yet wishes to engage in relations. I suspect you are reluctant to part with that 500 million. You should leave now. To my surprise, as I pushed Lu Qi away, the creamy liquid cascaded down his chest. I stood there, astonished. It really is milk? Lu Qi appeared to be amused despite his irritation. What else did you think it was? I hastily grabbed some tissues to assist in wiping his clothing. Can you blame me for misunderstanding? Why are you blushing over delivering milk? It was hard not to misinterpret the situation. Lu Qi fell silent, perhaps aware of his own culpability. The milk had spilled across his torso, and as I dabbed at it, my attention wandered. Wow. I can feel it. Those are abs, right? Who would have thought that beneath Lu Qi's seemingly lean exterior lay such well-defined muscles? So this is the sensation of touching abs. Once I am divorced, I shall seek out several male models to indulge in this pleasure daily. Lost in the sensation of his abdominal muscles, I suddenly felt my wrist gripped firmly by Lu Qi. A chill surged up my spine. I had become so engrossed that I had forgotten this was Lu Qi. Slowly, I raised my gaze. As my eyes traversed up his form, I noticed 2 buttons of his loungewear had come undone, revealing a tantalizing glimpse of his chest. Just above, I could see his Adam's apple moving as he swallowed, a clear indication of his unease. This was not good. He was surely infuriated. Yet when our eyes met, I was taken aback to find that his expression was not one of fury, as I had anticipated. Instead, his face was flushed, and his deep-set eyes glistened with an almost innocent vulnerability. Oh my, how I longed to tease him. Guji, do not provoke me, he said, his voice hoarse. You know I do not wish to divorce. Upon hearing this, my mind cleared considerably. Is this truly the conclusion you have reached? Suddenly, I found myself devoid of the desire to engage further, shaking off his grasp and turning to retreat into my room. He clearly does not care for me. Yet he refuses to divorce. What is he waiting for? Scoundrel. However, Lu Qi once again grasped my arm. If we do not divorce, I will provide you with an additional 10 million each month. His tone was earnest. What do you say? How much did you say? I halted in my tracks. 10 million deposited into your personal account, and you can use my supplementary card at your discretion. I chuckled. 10 million? Do you think I am so superficial? Lu Qi added, if 10 million does not satisfy you, then... I interrupted him. Huh. Lu Qi, you know me too well. I am indeed that shallow. As I pondered, I realized that perhaps this marriage did not necessarily have to end after all. So, when will the 10 million be transferred to my account? I refrained from delving into why Lu Qi was reluctant to divorce. With such an additional source of income, why would I refuse? However, it has become evident that money is not so easily acquired. Lately, I have either accompanied Lu Qi to various gatherings or been by his side as he flaunts our relationship. It is unavoidable. The admirers of this domineering figure are numerous. He requires me, his legitimate wife, to serve as a shield against their advances. Though it has been somewhat exhausting, the prominent individuals surrounding Lu Qi each possess intriguing stories. Who could resist the allure of such drama? I, for one, find immense pleasure in indulging in their narratives. Yet I never anticipated that one day I would find myself at the center of the gossip. What a rustic appearance! How could she possibly be worthy of being Mr. Lu's wife? Indeed. She just came in and has been incessantly eating, as if she has never tasted food before, utterly unrefined. I don't think she's even that attractive. Her looks are no match for Sister Muyu. I heard Sister Muyu is returning to the country. Do you think Mr. Lu would abandon her for Muyu? I took a moment to investigate the individual they were discussing, Qi Muyu. Ah, she is the childhood friend with whom Lu Qi grew up. Just then, Lu Qi descended from the stairs, and I immediately linked my arm with his, feigning affection, and boldly questioned him in front of the gathering. Lu Qi, I heard your childhood friend Qin Muyu is coming back. They are curious whether you would forsake me for her? Observing the awkward expressions on the faces of those women, I secretly chuckled to myself. What is the point of whispering and speculating when I can directly inquire with Lu Qi? In fact, I would welcome any potential rekindling with Qin Muyu as it might lead to our divorce. In that moment, Lu Qi's expression soured, and he cast a sharp glance around the crowd. I could sense his displeasure. There is no need for concern. Our relationship is quite strong. We will never divorce in this lifetime. The crowd appeared taken aback, and just as they were about to apologize, Lu Qi took my hand and led me outside, denying them any chance to speak. Why does he seem somewhat angry? Once we were in the car, Lu Qi's demeanor remained frosty. My relationship with Qin Muyu is merely that of ordinary neighbors. Do not heed their baseless rumors. There is nothing between us. After a moment, Lu Qi elaborated. Oh, do not worry, I did not take it seriously. Perhaps my calm demeanor made him uneasy, prompting him to reassure me further. I am serious. If there were anything between us, it would have happened long ago. I wholeheartedly agreed. That is indeed true. But you need not be anxious. I harbor no misunderstandings. Of course, even if something had transpired, it would not concern me. We are simply playing our parts. Such a response was remarkably considerate. I felt quite pleased with my performance, but upon glancing at Lu Qi, his expression seemed to darken further. Tentatively, I inquired, "Are you upset? What do you think?" I teased him. I am the one looked down upon, yet I am not angry. Why are you the one getting upset? Your lack of anger is precisely what infuriates me. Lu Qi suddenly leaned closer, his profound gaze locked onto mine. The proximity was disconcerting. A mere inch more, and our noses would nearly touch. My mind went blank. I felt as though I comprehended his words, yet I was equally perplexed. What do you mean? Lu Qi murmured in a tone laced with accusation. They are eagerly anticipating our divorce, and you remain unfazed. It seems our marriage holds no significance for you. He struck a chord there. I meekly replied, but I recall that we entered into a marriage by agreement. Did we not? Initially, Lu Qi believed that the original owner had orchestrated a scheme to ensnare him, which led to their entanglement. However, the reality was that both the original owner and Lu Qi were victims of betrayal by those around them. By a twist of fate, they found themselves sharing a room for the night, where nothing transpired, yet the media spun a tale otherwise. Out of a sense of obligation, Lu Qi wed the original owner, who consented to the union in order to fund her mother's treatment. Thus, they were wed by contract, devoid of affection. It was entirely natural for me not to invest emotionally in this marriage. Nonetheless, Lu Qi appeared somewhat irked, and I refrained from voicing this thought. Lu Qi's brow furrowed, seemingly exasperated, his breaths growing more rapid. He gazed at me with a deep intensity before finally shutting his eyes and exhaling a long sigh. Forget it. Should you hear any more idle gossip, pay it no mind. With that, he instructed the driver to proceed. I was left bewildered. The workings of a man's heart are as elusive as the depths of the sea. That evening, Lu Jin returned, looking disheveled and as though he had endured a considerable setback. Lu Ba's irritation flared upon seeing him. You vanish for days without a word. What have you done about the situation? Have all the lessons we've imparted gone to waste? I glanced at Lu Qi, but he merely shook his head. Let me see what transpired in these past few days. Ah. Has the second brother finally discerned the deceitful nature of Zhang Kenny? I presumed he had been attempting to reconcile with her, but it appears he was investigating instead. Tisk, TSK, Zhang Kenny is utterly shameless. Despite the mountain of evidence before her, she still dares to implore the second brother to marry her. She claims that her unborn child cannot be without a father, asserting that her love grants him the right to be the child's father. What an absurd statement. Does the second brother strike you as desperate? Knowing the truth, he would not play the role of a father to another's child. Thankfully, he has returned to his senses and severed ties with Zhang Kenny. Lu Jin stood there, dejected, and offered an apology to all present. He turned to me, particularly remorseful. Sister-in-law, I misjudged you. I owe you an apology. Your suspicions were justified. Zhang Kenny is indeed carrying another man's child. As he spoke, his eyes suddenly glistened with tears. She professed her love for me, all the while deceiving me. Mother Lu gently pulled Lu Jin beside her, offering him words of comfort. When it comes to love, my second brother is experiencing it for the first time. He invested his whole heart, only to be met with betrayal, which has dealt him a heavy blow. Yet, it is fortunate that he has escaped from the sea of suffering. I reassured him, second brother, do not be too heartbroken. Such a woman is not worth your tears. Think of it this way. The next one will be better, the next one will be more obedient. Upon hearing this, Lu Jin choked back his emotions. I wished to offer him further consolation, but keenly sensed a dangerous gaze directed at me. Lu Qi looked down at me from above. Is that what you believe? What? He suddenly fell silent, merely casting me a glance before turning to ascend the staircase. I was left speechless. I had thought that life would proceed in an uneventful manner until one day, Qin Muyu sought me out upon returning to the country. Truly, as a renowned actress, she possessed striking beauty, with an assertive allure. Her purpose for visiting was quite straightforward. She wished to pay a visit to me, her sister-in-law. However, her demeanor was anything but amiable. I heard you resorted to some unscrupulous means to force Lu Qi into marrying you. If you are wise, you will know what to do. You will not be able to hold onto the position of Lu Qi's wife for long. I had wondered why a few gossiping individuals believed that I would be abandoned upon Qin Muyu's return. It seemed she had been crafting the illusion that she held a place in Lu Qi's heart all along. Her unspoken infatuation with him, coupled with her cowardice, had brought her to me behind his back. Once I discerned her true intentions, I smiled. I believe you may have misunderstood something. Do you think I cherish this position? If it weren't for Lu Qi begging me not to divorce, I would have left long ago. Alas, who could resist the love of Lu Huai? You have no idea. It was only after his relentless persuasion that I agreed not to divorce. Qin Muyu's expression twisted in disbelief. You are ridiculous. How could Lu Qi possibly have feelings for you? Her impatience revealed her lack of composure. I encouraged her. Why not, Miss Qin? Go and speak to Lu Qi on my behalf. Tell him I'm quite eager to divorce, and see how he responds. The notion that Lu Qi loved me dearly and begged me not to part ways was something Qin Muyu could hardly bear, striking her deeply. She arrived like a proud swan, yet left in utter disarray. How foolish of her to contend with me. She had laid bare her vulnerabilities, leaving her with little to challenge me. However, I never anticipated that Qin Muyu would indeed confront Lu Qi. I heard that I am utterly infatuated with you. Begging you not to divorce? Lu Qi's expression was one of amusement, while I felt a wave of embarrassment wash over me. I merely mentioned it in passing. Who could have known she would take it to heart? To my surprise, Lu Qi was not angered by my tarnishing of his reputation. Instead, he gently ruffled my hair. Indeed, I am quite infatuated with you. You have spoken the truth. I swatted his hand away, exasperated.
Stop that.
Who knows if this will stunt my growth? I added. By the way, with the new year approaching, my sister will be returning in a couple of days. Her culinary skills are quite impressive. One might eagerly anticipate her signature dishes. The three siblings of the Lu family include Lu Yi, the eldest sister, who is gentle and gracious, married to a university professor.
Li Zhao.
After their marriage, the couple harmoniously coexists, treating each other with utmost respect. It is likely that Li Zhao will accompany his wife back this time. Shortly after Lu Qi spoke, I was awakened by a commotion downstairs the following morning. Having resided here for quite a while, I knew that the Lu family's upbringing strictly forbade any raucous disturbances so early in the day. What could have happened? After freshening up, I opened the door to find Lu Qi ascending the stairs with a bowl of soy milk in hand. I've disturbed your slumber. Here, have something to settle your stomach,
he said.
Elder sister has returned, and there was some trouble. Breakfast might be off the table this morning. His expression was grim, and I refrained from asking further questions. After finishing the soy milk, I descended the stairs alongside him. In the living room, I saw Lu Ma seated in the main position. Her countenance more severe than I had ever witnessed. Li Zhao, when I entrusted my precious daughter to you, is this how you choose to treat her?
Li Zhao.
An elegant professor with gold-rimmed glasses, meticulously combed hair, and dressed in a tailored suit, responded to Lu Ma's inquiry with dignity. I understand that adopting a child may be somewhat challenging for you and your husband to accept. However, this is a decision that Lu Yi and I have made, and we kindly ask for your support. Lu Ba turned to his eldest daughter. What are your thoughts?
Dad.
Mom, I don't know, she stammered, biting her lip, her nose reddened as if she had been crying. Beside Li Zhao stood a small boy, standing tall with pride. I watched, baffled by the situation. Just as I was about to consult the gossip system, Lu Qi leaned in and whispered the backstory to me. It turned out that Li Zhao had suddenly proposed to adopt a child from the orphanage, specifically the young boy standing beside him. However, he could not proceed with the adoption directly. He needed to bring the child and ascertain the Lu family's willingness first. After all, his current success was largely due to the Lu family's support. Only if the Lu family acknowledged the child could he inherit Li Zhao's estate. Conversely, should the Lu family accept him, they would be obliged to offer future assistance. Yet, Lu Yi's attitude was ambiguous, and her demeanor suggested discontent with Li Zhao's unilateral decision to bring the child into their home. Li Zhao adjusted his glasses and said, Lu Yi, did we not discuss this before we came? When we grow old, Xiaoying will be there to take care of us in our twilight years. But we had agreed not to have children, not to adopt. Lu Yi hesitated for a long moment before expressing her thoughts. Yet we will inevitably age. Who will care for us then? Li Zhao's voice was gentle. You once said you didn't want to have children, and I bore the family's pressure to agree. I have treated you well, shouldn't you consider my feelings as well? For some reason, observing him in this light evoked a sense of dissonance within me. The elder sister felt profoundly uncomfortable upon hearing his words. I could discern her inner turmoil. Something is amiss. It is profoundly wrong. In Li Zhao, I see no trace of affection for my sister. I swiftly perused the gossip system. Ignorance was bliss until I delved deeper, which nearly incensed me. This Li Zhao, a so-called phoenix man, initially ensnared my sister with the effet of insincerity. Over the years, he has feasted on her kindness. And now he brazenly dismantles the very bridge that brought him here, eating from the bowl while cursing it. My sister, who once possessed a commendable character, has grown increasingly indecisive since marrying him. It turns out this scoundrel constantly berates her, claiming she is incapable of even the simplest tasks, asserting that only he, Li Zhao, would deign to love her. He further insists that she was spoiled from a young age, incapable of fending for herself in the world. It is a pity to witness my sister, a pampered heiress, gradually eroded by his insidious thoughts, now dutifully washing his clothes and preparing his meals, enduring insults without retort. Moreover, this is not a child from an orphanage. He is clearly a love child born from his affair. I mentally chastised Li Zhao with fervor, oblivious to my sister's suddenly stiffened expression. Father Lu slammed the table in anger, declaring, "You are threatening my daughter. Mark my words, there will be no adoption of this child." Mother Lu coldly added, "Given our family's fortune, do you truly fear for your old age?" Lu Qi also stepped forward, asserting, "Do you think you will have any issues with your retirement as long as I am here?" Faced with the Lu family's onslaught, Li Zhao maintained a smile, addressing the gathering. "Father, mother, while that may be true, having a child to converse with in old age is indeed a blessing." What do you think?" He directed the question towards my sister. My anxiety surged. "Scoundrel, if you wished for a child to talk to in old age, why did you agree to a child-free marriage when my sister proposed it? Were you not simply seeking the wealth and support of the Lu family by marrying her?" Under the scrutinizing gazes of all present, my sister held her head in her hands, tears streaming down her face. "I don't know. Please don't ask me." Father Lu, filled with exasperation, insisted, "All you need to tell me is whether you want to adopt this child." Just as my sister was about to respond, Li Zhao's demeanor suddenly darkened. Didn't we already discuss this at home? Are you now having second thoughts?" I could no longer bear to witness him bully my sister. "Brother-in-law, it seems my sister is not entirely willing. Why are you pressuring her? Since you both initially agreed to a child-free life, why the sudden desire to adopt? It appears you are the one at fault here. Yet I see no acknowledgement of that from you. Furthermore, you are still young. Why the rush to adopt this child? He seems quite healthy, not like a typical orphan. Could it be that there is something wrong with him that necessitates your haste?" In the final moments, Li Zhao displayed a fleeting moment of panic. Yet, he masked it so expertly, stating, "How could that be? I am merely preparing for the future." I felt a surge of indignation. How despicable. He has thrived on my sister's sacrifices and has audaciously sought a student to be his lover. My sister had scarcely been married to him when he fathered this child with his mistress. I never anticipated his audacity, thinking he could brazenly bring the child home for my sister to raise. What is this? Using my money to support the offspring of his affair? I could hardly contain my fury on my sister's behalf. Under the persistent urging of Mr. and Mrs. Lu, my sister finally shook her head, crying out, "I refuse to adopt this child." The expression on Li Zhao's face visibly darkened. "It seems you are no longer considering our family." He feigned a sigh, adding, "Indeed, for all these years, your word has been law. I have had no room to question or refuse. Perhaps it would be best if we divorced, as my decisions as your husband have never seemed significant to you." Li Zhao presented a facade of discomfort and sorrow that made me want to retch.
Oh,
what a charade. You could not even disguise yourself adequately. Yet, this tactic of retreating to advance left my sister pale. I never intended to divorce. Sister, please wake up. He is using divorce as leverage against you. This is his illegitimate child. Can you not see the truth? Alas, my sister cannot hear my thoughts. Nor does she recognize this scoundrel for what he is. I must devise a way to expose his deeds. As I contemplated my strategy, I heard Lu Qi's voice. "Brother-in-law, after some thought, I believe we can acknowledge this child, provided you agree to a paternity test." A spark of realization illuminated my mind. Of course, the paternity test, an infallible tactic. How did I not think of that? Li Zhao appeared profoundly hurt. "Ah Qi, are you doubting me? My feelings for your sister are sincere, as passionate as ever. To think you would question me casts doubt on your sister's judgment. Truly, such disingenuous rhetoric made me want to applaud." "Not at all, brother-in-law. Qi only proposes this method because he believes in both you and our sister." I smiled sweetly, delivering a sharp rebuttal. "Without this test, how can we dispel the doubts of Dad, Mom, and our sister?" Did he truly believe that securing the Lu family's acknowledgement of this child could be achieved simply by obtaining my sister's consent? "Mrs. Lu interjected, "If you are so intent on adopting this child, then a paternity test is in order." Li Zhao fell silent for a moment, unexpectedly producing a paternity report from his pocket. "This matter has long been settled. Here is the report confirming that neither I nor A.E. share a blood relation with this child." He had indeed prepared in advance. This man is truly cunning, having procured a false report beforehand, ready to present it when we voiced our doubts. He relies on our hesitance to insist on further testing, fearing the tarnishing of the Lu family's reputation if such claims were to circulate. The identification is utterly fraudulent. He bribed the doctor to fabricate the results. The faces of the Lu family were all grim. Lu Qi, lost in thought, exchanged a glance with his father before retreating upstairs. It appeared that Li Zhao was determined to adopt this child. Even more repugnant was the fact that he seemed to have already ascertained that the Liu family would acquiesce to his demands, prompting the boy to step forward for display. It was laughable. The child's expression radiated a sense of entitlement, as if he were destined to become a wealthy heir, all the while feigning innocence. Is this what you call obedient? Of course. Every father views his darling son through rose-colored glasses. I wager this child has been coached by Li Zhao and Qian Mengmeng. Suddenly, the eldest sister gasped in horror, frantically tugging at the boy's collar. This necklace. Li Zhao, you owe me an explanation. Why is your studentess necklace on him? Had she not mentioned it, I would have overlooked the necklace adorning the boy's neck. Oh, sister, how could you not see it? Li Zhao has strayed. His student, Qian Mengmeng, has been his mistress for 5 years. If you don't divorce that despicable man, I will lose all respect for you. Panic flickered in Li Zhao's eyes. A revelation flashed through my mind, and I chuckled. Now I understand. The little boy was desperately trying to reclaim the necklace. But the elder sister was too agitated to let go. The child, accustomed to throwing tantrums at home, quickly revealed his true nature. He shoved the sister aside, seething with anger. This necklace was a gift from my mother. I knew it. You and your student Qian Mengmeng are entangled. The eldest sister pointed accusingly at Li Zhao. Li Zhao, you must explain yourself. Calm down. It's merely a necklace. There are countless similar ones on the street. This is just coincidence. Unfortunately, Li Zhao's explanation failed to convince anyone. I interrupted him, leaning close to the child's ear and whispering something. In the next moment, the boy charged at Li Zhao, throwing a tantrum on the ground, crying out, "Daddy, you lied to me. You and Mommy deceived me. I don't want to be here. I want to go home. Take me home." The utterance of "Daddy" drained the color from the eldest sister's face. "You have betrayed me." Li Zhao, at a loss for words, struck the child in a fit of rage, losing the composure he had moments before. Listen to me. How could I ever betray you? This is all a misunderstanding. You must be reasonable. I have made such great sacrifices for you. Is it too much to ask for this one wish to be fulfilled? Scoundrel. Even at this moment, you still wish for my sister. If you dare betray my sister, I will end you. The second brother, Lu Jin, was roused from his slumber, his spirits having been low since his own deception. It seemed he had found the perfect outlet for his frustrations. As Li Zhao received several blows from Lu Jin, the child, witnessing the scene, rushed forward in tears to defend him. You bad man. Don't hit my daddy. Daddy, let's go home to find Mommy. Don't sell me. I will behave. At a critical moment, Lu Qi asserted decisively, I have already investigated the agency that conducted the identification. You bribed the personnel to forge the results. Li Zhao, do you have anything else to say? Lu Jin, upon hearing this, grew even angrier. I will end you, you wretched phoenix man. Li Zhao shamelessly continued his accusations, claiming that Lu Yi could not provide the warmth he desired, that he had married a burden to serve, that Lu Yi looked down upon him, and that he longed for children but Lu Yi refused to bear them. He even asserted that it was the child's mother who seduced him, causing him to lose control. Thankfully, the elder sister had completely seen through his true character, not wishing to spare him even a glance. Since you are so dissatisfied with me, let us divorce. Li Zhao was unwilling to divorce. The years of effort he had accumulated were all based on leeching off the Liu family. He begged pitifully, tears streaming down his face. Hypocrite. A sponger, living off others. Just wait to be left with nothing after the divorce. Li Zhao left in disgrace, with the child. Awaiting him was the Liu family's reckoning. Lu Yi, with reddened eyes, grasped my hand. Gigi, thanks to you, I have finally seen his true colors. I blinked. What can I say? Children are easily deceived. Lu Ma was curious. What did you tell him? I said, your parents no longer want you and are going to sell you. Li Zhao's expression truly resembled that of a child being sold. The crowd could hardly contain their laughter. Even Lu Qi slightly lifted his lips, his eyes glinting with amusement. In truth, it was that woman Qian Mengmeng who was too eager to win. She believed Li Zhao's words and thought that the elder sister was being toyed with by him, even if she knew the child was hers. There was nothing she could do, so she deliberately made the child wear that necklace to flaunt before the elder sister. Yet, who would have thought that it was precisely that necklace that caused their plan to fall apart? The matter was perfectly resolved. Li Zhao's infidelity led to his downfall. He was dismissed from his position due to ethical violations and issues with his conduct. I heard that he faced numerous rejections in his job search and spent his days at home abusing Qian Mengmeng. Not long after, Qian Mengmeng entangled herself with another lover, breaking one of his legs, and then revealed a secret to him. In truth, that child was not Li Zhao's biological offspring. The identification results he presented that day were indeed accurate. Li Zhao, believing he had bribed the personnel, remained oblivious to the fact that Qian Mengmeng had outsmarted him long before, leading him in circles with the identification personnel. This was something Lu Qi later informed me. I could hardly contain my laughter. In the days that followed, Lu Qi seemed to have undergone a transformation. Each day after work, he would bring me flowers from the flower shop, causing Lu Ba and Lu Ma to regard me with newfound eyes. Upon returning from business trips, he would also bring me local gifts. Sometimes they were delicacies, other times they were luxury items. Until one day, he brought back flowers that triggered my allergies, resulting in a rash covering my body. I could no longer endure it and directly confronted him. Do you think I acquired this 10 million too easily and have come to exact revenge on me? Lu Qi appeared quite embarrassed. I previously misunderstood you. It was my fault. I merely intended to compensate you. However, he did not anticipate that I was allergic to roses. I resigned myself. Lu Qi, perhaps we should consider divorce. I truly find it difficult to adapt to this. Lu Qi shook his head, silently expressing his reluctance. My mother has passed away. I no longer need to use your money for her treatment, and besides, you have come to realize that nothing ever transpired between us. I was perplexed. Why are you so unwilling to divorce? Lu Qi remained silent. Could it be a matter of money? If it concerns finances, I am willing to forego the 5 billion compensation, I resolved firmly. If it is not mine, let it fade away. Fortunately, I still possess 10 million, which is sufficient to sustain me for the rest of my life. Perhaps I could even save a little and indulge in a few male models. Suddenly, Lu Qi spoke. Guji, what do you think of me? His expression was earnest. To speak candidly, Lu Qi truly embodies my ideal type. His appearance, height, demeanor, and character are all qualities I deeply admire and appreciate. I replied honestly. Quite good. You possess wealth and good looks. Importantly, you maintain your integrity and are rather innocent. I have a fondness for that. So, would you like to give it a try with me? Lu Qi's face visibly flushed. I wish to pursue you. Could you grant me a chance? Hence, after all this time, the bouquets and gifts were his attempts at courting me. I gazed at him, finding it exceedingly difficult to refuse. He is both affluent and handsome, his emotions as pure as a blank canvas, and his character commendable. During our time together, I have sensed his sincerity. After all, I have no one I particularly favor. Perhaps I should give it a shot? Lu Qi, feeling uncomfortable under my gaze, said, If you truly find it challenging, I can give you time to consider. No need for consideration. I grant you this opportunity. Yet, I wish to pose one question. You must like me as a person, rather than merely my face, correct? Otherwise, how could you confess to me in front of this face adorned with blemishes? Lu Qi's features softened, a smile gracing his lips. As long as it is you, I like all of you. Ever since we opened our hearts to one another, Lu Qi has become quite clingy. He certainly knows how to cater to my preferences, bringing back only valuable treasures. Lu Ma patted my hand, advising me. This stubborn boy has finally opened up. You must seize this opportunity and not relent too quickly. A man, you see, will not cherish what comes too easily. Truly, Lu Ma speaks with wisdom. Lu Qi could never have imagined that his own mother was secretly maneuvering against him. One night, Lu Qi, inebriated, insisted on sharing a bed with me. Other couples sleep together. Why can't we? He wore a look of utter grievance, and my heart softened at the sight, prompting me to allow him to come closer. Lu Qi mentioned he had a secret to share with me. I leaned in, but he only dared to place a fleeting kiss on my lips before retreating into the covers like a timid turtle, his ears flushed a deep crimson. Did you not say you had a secret to tell me? Well, let me confide in you. I can actually hear your innermost thoughts. I was taken aback. Then you must know that I am not the original Guji. He leaned in closer. I know. The one I have always cherished is you, not her. That was more like it. With those words, the foundation of our marriage could endure. After a restful slumber, I awoke the next day to find Lu Qi propping his head up, gazing at me affectionately. Yet, suddenly, I heard his voice echo in my mind. What should I do? My wife looks so adorable upon waking. I really want to kiss her. Lu Qi's lips remained still. I was left bewildered. So, it was now my turn to hear his thoughts? How amusing. What kind of domineering CEO is preoccupied solely with thoughts of kisses?
The end.